Okay, now I've had folk asking me to have a look at this, and I've always been enamoured of this anyway as a previous Crunchbang user. This is Bunsenlabs. This is Bunsenlabs Boron, which is based on Debian bookworm, so it's bang up to date and lovely. This is installed on the metal on a Hewlett-Packard Pavilion laptop notebook. Small screen but high res. Okay, so when you boot into it after install, you get the welcome screen. Now, caveat, this is installed, but I've not run this. I've not run this. All I've done is updated the repos and installed OBS Studio, which is what I'm recording this on, as you can see. Alright, so I've not installed my own software. I don't need to. The thing of it is, anything based on the current Debian is going to be good unless the developers of the particular respin have messed it up. Now, the developers of this particular respin are not known to mess it up. So if you want information regarding what kernel we're on, how much RAM it uses, things like that, go and have a look at a Debian video. Possibly I've posted one, but all of that applies here. This is Debian reskinned and defaulting to the OpenBox window manager with the frills and fluff, and I say that lightly because they are very sparing on what they put in as regards resource usage and things that are likely to weigh down the system. These people are looking out to make a very light desktop environment with a very rock solid Debian backend, and I think they've made one. I think they consistently make them. Every single release is absolutely top notch and bang on, and an awful lot of serious users use this because it is reliable, dependable and pre-configured for their needs. So if you're looking for an all singing, all dancing desktop that's got all the malarkey, all the mirrored windows and the desktop cube and the wobbly windows and stuff like that, forget it, because that's not what this is about. This is about stripped down basic desktop environment that is capable of running everything that you would like to run on it, which is basically anything in the Debian repos. This pulls from backports, and they have their own repos as well for the trims and the fluffiness and the rounded corners and stuff in the OpenBox desktop environment. I say desktop environment, I mean window manager. So anyway, this is Bunsenlabs Boron. It's neither boring and it's neither for morons. It's boron because they name it after the gas or the element, and that is the thing of Bunsen Labs. They've always named themselves after helium, hydrogen, gases, inert or whatever. It's all about the periodic table with a little nod back in the day towards the Crunchbang stuff, which was always named after characters out of the Muppet Show, like the Waldorf, Statler, things like that. In much the same way that Debian bases its releases and it names them after characters out of Toy Story. So Bunsen Labs names their releases after Muppet Show characters, which is all well and good, absolutely fine. I love the Muppets, you love the Muppets, you know the Muppets are dependable and good fun. So right, here we are, we're recording a video. This is an installed version of Bunsenlabs Boron based on Debian Bookworm. Names, what's in the name? Anyway, we're going to run the BL welcome. So it says, hi installed user, Welcome to Bunsenlabs Linux. This is an optional post-installation script to help you configure your new Linux installation and get the most out of Bunsenlabs. You will now be presented with a series of options. To see the output of a previous page, you can scroll back in the terminal. Terminal-based. You don't need to use the terminal in Linux. No, you don't, but in certain versions, it's a good idea so that you can track what you've done. If you do not want to run this program now, you can run it at a later date with the command bl welcome. Bl welcome, you won't find it in the menus. You won't find it in here anywhere, right? You have to do it via a terminal. But when you do, it will bring you to here. Remember that Bunsenlabs Linux and its component parts are released under the GNU GPL v3 license and come without any warranties or support. As with all times and in all releases in Linux, you use at your own risk. But that risk is far lower than if you were using Windows, Mac OS, or Chrome OS, which is, it's Linux. No, it's not Linux. It uses the Linux kernel, but it's so locked down you might as well be in Windows or Mac OS or Android. Same applies as the previous. Okay, let's hit enter. See what it gives us. Okay, ask for your login password, which if you've already installed you will have set up. So here we go. Boom. Okay. A warning: while FOSS, free open source software, is primarily about freedom and choice, certain choices are known to carry an increased risk of breaking things in Bunsenlabs, and indeed any Linux distribution. This is not unique to Bunsenlabs. Everything's a bit of a risk, but it's worth the risk for a free system. Two of the riskier things are adding Ubuntu PPAs or unknown untrusted repos to your Etsy apt sources list or Etsy apted sources list D, installing a package that wants a newer version of libc 6. Okay, nobody who has just come to this for the first time will be doing either of those. Only a fool would try and run a PPA from Ubuntu under Debian. Sorry if you can hear lots of knocking. We've got a neighbour next door who insists on demolishing his house after just buying it. Okay. More information on some of the riskier things, the above included, can be found here. So https://wiki.debian.org. Don't break Debian. Right click the above link and choose open link to visit the page, which you can do from here. Okay, so you can open URL instead of open link. Okay, it's a thing. Please type OK to continue with this script. Okay, so let's continue with it. Okay, update software sources, check sources, and upgrade install packages. Before we can continue, we need to make sure your system's software is up to date. This is a thing that you have to do to stay safe. This script will execute the commands sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get upgrade, space -- with -new -pkgs with new packages. It will also check your configured apt sources to make sure that all necessary repositories are available. If you don't want to upgrade now, you can run this welcome script at any time later in a terminal with the command bl-welcome. Do you want to continue? Capital Y. Now capital Y is the default, so you can hit enter for that, or you can choose N if you don't want it. But I'm going to hit enter. Boom. There we go. Okay, so now it's refreshing our package sources. Okay. Following packages will be upgraded, so it's found something new. So do you want to continue? Yes or no? Well, enter will give you the default capitalized yes, so we'll do that. Okay, so now we've got the install firmware check. Isencram is software to check your system for missing firmware and install any that your hardware needs. This might be things like Bluetooth adapters, Wi-Fi firmware, graphics stuff, all things like that, little drivers that it can build into the kernel and make your system work for you rather than everybody's system work for everybody, because not everybody has got the same system, have they? So this is a good thing, and it looks for little unique things that you might particularly need that somebody else might not. So that's good. If non-free packages, blah, 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 the necessary apt sources will be enabled automatically. So if you want to run a completely FOSS system, you'd better say no to this and struggle along without that Wi-Fi adapter or that Bluetooth adapter or that keyboard adapter or that whatever. The truth of the thing is, as much as, just like most of us, we'd love to run on perfectly FOSS operating systems, we need closed source software to run an awful lot of the stuff in our hardware. So, if you're a FOSS advocate and want to run everything on a Lemote Yelong, just like Richard Stallman, go for it. But this ain't going to work on it. You are going to need extra stuff. Okay, so you will need to enable non-free packages, which will be automatically enabled if you choose to go this route. Okay, so I need Ice and Cram CLI, whatever the hell that is. But I'm going to go for it because it says that I need it, and I trust this. This is not Windows, this is not Mac OS, this is not Android. This is a bunch of people who are working to make a system to work on other people's machines, and they've got no interest in robbing me of data or anything like that. Not like the big ones have. They don't want to target me with adverts. Other guys do, so I trust these over them. Would I like to install the firmware checks? Yes. So the default is no, but I would say yes on this one. Okay, now it's added Ice and Cram CLI to the install list. Okay, install apt update checker. A package is available which will notify you of Debian packages which can be upgraded. When upgrades are available, an icon will be added to the system tray which allows you to view the updates in the terminal window. You can then run any commands of your choice, e.g. sudo apt upgrade if you want to upgrade. Note, no automatic package upgrades are done, but the Debian repository data is checked daily. Would you like to install the update checker now? If you choose to do this, the following packages will be installed. These are so transparent about what they're doing. Would Windows tell you that it's going to install something that's going to keep checking back with the repos? Windows doesn't tell you when it installs stuff that is checking back with third-party companies. This is telling us that it's checking back to its developers. Think on that. Would you like to install apt update checker? I'm going to say yes, because I trust them. Okay, it's been added to an install list, blah, blah, blah. Debian backports. Debian backports are packages taken from the next Debian release called testing, adjusted and recompiled for usage on Debian stable, which is what this is based on. If you enable this repository, you'll be able to upgrade some programs to newer versions or install some programs not available to Debian stable. However, backports cannot be tested as extensively as Debian stable and are provided on an as-is basis, with risk of incompatibilities with other components in Debian stable. It is therefore recommended to only select single backported packages that fit your needs and not use all available backports. This will add the line deb https://deb.debian.org/debian space bookworm dash bookmark backports main contrib non-free firmware to /etc/apt/sources.list.d/debian-bookworm. What have I got a problem with that? Debian bookworm-backports.list, allowing you to upgrade or install packages using that repository. Basically, this is asking you if you want to use backports. The default is no, and I'm going to go with no, so I'm going to hit enter, because that is the capitalized option here. Capitalized. So I'm going to hit enter. I don't want backports. I don't need them. Debian stable is perfectly fine for me. Okay, Bunsenlabs backports are packages taken from either other Debian and Debian-based releases or other sources such as GitHub, adjusted and recompiled for usage on Debian stable. If you enable this repository, you will be able to upgrade some programs to newer versions or install some programs not available in Debian stable. However, Bunsenlabs backports are not tested extensively. Right, that's all I need to know. Not tested extensively, so I'm going to go for the default, which is, again, capitalized, and the default, N, no. I don't want backports, don't need backports, stable, works well. Install Bluetooth support. Now, do you need Bluetooth on your laptop? Have you got Bluetooth headphones? Have you got Bluetooth anything? Well, then you'll want it. By default, Bunsenlabs does not come with Bluetooth support. Would you like to install some Bluetooth packages now? If you choose to do this, the following packages will be installed. Bunsen Meta Bluetooth. No, additional packages listed as dependencies would also be installed. Would you like to install Bluetooth support? Now, my response to that would be not the default. The default is no, but I would like it because this is a laptop and I might need various components that are not physically connected to the computer. So I'm going to go yes. Let's have some Bluetooth. So it's been added to the install list, blah, blah, blah. Do I want Java support? Default is no. I'm going to go with no. You don't need Java. It's outdated. Development packages. The remaining screens will offer you the chance to install less commonly used packages used for developing software. Would you like to view these options on screens? Do you develop software? Do you write programs? Do you do anything? Do you compile at source? No, no, no. Take the default. It's no. Okay, install packages. This script will now execute some deferred actions. These packages will be installed: Isencram Clyde, Bunsen apt update checker, Bunsen Meta Bluetooth. Now these are the things that I've chosen to install because of the questions asked previously. These functions will be executed last. Offer run Isencram. Would you like to perform these actions? The default is yes because you've already chosen that you wanted to, and this is just confirming it. So let's hit enter. Okay, so because of all that, 92.8 megs of additional disk space will be used. Do I want to continue? Well, obviously, that's why I'm here. Hit enter, capital Y, let's go. And here we go. Now it's traditional in, and it certainly was in Crunchbang, and has been in previous versions of Bunsenlabs, that this welcome script will say, do you want to install LibreOffice? Do you want to install this? Do you want to install this? Do you want to install this? So, okay. Isencram Clyde has been installed so you can check your system for any missing firmware if you choose to blah, 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 blah. Check for firmware. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. Bit of an adventure. Some kernel driver requested extra firmware files, blah, 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 blah. If new firmware was installed, your computer may need to be restarted to make sure all kernel modules are properly initialized. Press any key to continue. Any key is enter in this case. Okay, so that's the welcome screen. So any key to exit, boosh. Now what you would technically do if you're not recording a video at this point is to exit out of the terminal by typing this exit bosh, and then you would hit exit reboot. However, I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to hit escape, get out of that, and I'm just going to show you what it comes with in its virgin mode, in its post-install mode. What do you get with it? Well, I'll tell you for a start. I've installed OBS Studio, right? So that's me. Everything else is exactly what you get with it. What do you get? You get your application finder, your archive manager, Bunsenlab CLI editor, Bunsenlab file manager. Fish File Search, Clipboard Manager, GTK Hash, LibreOffice Start Center, Light DM GTK plus Greeter settings, Nitrogen for changing your wallpapers, PyCom, Quick Screenshot, Run Programs, Screenshot, Thunar File Manager, Xterminal Emulator, and XF Burn. Under Development, you get the Bunsenlab Client Editor, Bunsenlab Text Editor, Genie, Icon Browser. Under Graphics, you get the Bunsenlab Image Viewer. You get the Document Viewer, you get Quick Screenshot, and you get Ristretto. Under Multimedia, Bunsenlab Media Player, PN Mixer, Pavio Control, VLC Media Player, XF Burn. Under Internet, you get Advanced Network Configuration, FileZilla, Firefox ESR, not your normal Firefox, the ESR one, which I find to be better. You get HexChat for your internet chat, you get Transmission for your BitTorrent client, and you get X Web Browser. Never tried it, probably never will, but it's a thing and it's there. Under Office, you get the Events Document Viewer, you get LibreOffice Calc, LibreOffice Start Center, which I refer to as the hub, and you get LibreOffice Writer. So basically you get LibreOffice Start Center, which will give you access to Calc and Writer. Under Settings, you get the Advanced Network Configuration, the Alternatives Configuration, you get AR&I, you get the Blob Themes Manager, which I will return to, you get the Bluetooth Adapters, Bluetooth Manager, Clipboard Manager, Settings, Compositor Pipe Menu, Conky Editor, Conky Manager, Conky Mover, Conky Pipe Menu. You get the Customize Look and Feel, you get File Manager Settings, you get Light DM GTK plus Greeting Settings, you get Nitrogen, which allows you to change your wallpaper, you get your notification settings. So if you don't want them, you can turn them off here, or you can change them, or you can make them disappear quicker, or you can make them be more transparent, or you can do all sorts of things with this. You've got the OB Conf. You get the Panel Manager, you get your Power Manager for your monitor timeouts and screen blanking and screen locker and stuff like that. You get Pavio Control again, removable drives and media, set user locale. If you're in Guatemala, you can set it for Guatemala, do that. You get your Synaptic Package Manager, the low-level package installer, which is absolute diamond, and anyone who runs Debian or PC Loss would be lost without Synaptic Package Manager. It's absolutely fantastic. Tint2 editor. Tint2 is this menu down the side here. It's basically a pseudo taskbar, and it's fantastic. You've got the Tint2 manager and the Tint2 pipe menu. Under System, you get the Alternatives configurator, the Bunsenlabs file manager, which is Thunar. Okay. Okay, you've got your Conky controls, you've got exit settings, you've got your GDebi package installer, Gigolo, GMRun, Gparted for partitioning hard drives, and also USB sticks. You've got HTOP to tell you your running processes and where your memories or CPU is getting used up. If you get a bottleneck, this will tell you where it is. You've got your JG menu, you've got your Light DM GTK plus Greeter settings, you've got your LX terminal, so you can go hi, and you can do your really nasty terminal work, which nobody needs to do anymore, except you actually bloody do. You've got your Synaptic Package Manager again, you've got your System Profiler and Benchmark, your Thunar File Manager, Tint2, and External Emulator. Okay. So, let's go to the Blob Themes Manager. Now, we've already mentioned that you can change your background using Nitrogen, but the Blob Themes Manager gives you a set of pre-configured desktop environments. Now, we can go to Beryllium. The thing of it is, we've got Boron at the minute. Boron Aqua is our default. It's got a tick next to it. Okay, we can let's view the selected blob, so we can go and make it look like Beryllium. Oh, and it looks like, oh, thank God for that. It gives you a picture. That's fantastic. So if you want Beryllium, you can go all dark like this. Okay, but the thing of it is, you've got all these options, and you can just say like apply selected blob, and it will all go like that. So you can go to Bunsenlabs Fever Room, view selected blob, and get that, which is nice if you like muddy brown. But the thing I like most about this is you can go back to Crunch Bang and it will look like Crunch Bang. Look at it, it looks like Crunch Bang. Oh, it looks like Crunch Bang, which is the granddaddy of this and Philip Newbra's baby. However, myself, I happen to like how it is out of the box. So I'm going to quit this, and I'm going to quit the video, and I'm going to say thank you very much. This has been an introduction and a little bit of a walkthrough through Bunsenlabs Boron, based on Debian Bookworm, and it's lovely. How can it not be? Thanks for watching.